Sweet. Let me put this. No, I don't want to go live. Stop YouTube. I use StreamYard.
What's going on, everybody? We're here with Mr. Wright Way. Thanks for coming on, brother. So, I have watched you for quite some time, and the growth that you have had in a short amount of time is kind of shocking to me. I mean, not shocking to me in a rude way, but shocking to me as like the stuff that you've opened up into has been pretty crazy. Like, you know, someone that looks at your YouTube's like, oh, he's into video games, video game collecting, and then you're just interviewing AEW people. So, so,
With that, man, right? And also, thank you for inviting me on, man. I appreciate it. The thing about that, right, is I know people love wrestling, also who loves video games, and vice versa. Even though you got your AEW shirt on, which is pretty cool. Um, so I'm like, you know what? I had this opportunity. They was down here in Dallas, and I was like, you know what? I was real nervous too. I was like, let me go down here and see can I get some interviews, just stuff for the channel and stuff like that. I'm media. YouTube is media. It's a business. I was like, maybe, maybe not. And then I always say, God told me, get your butt up and go. So I got up that morning and I was in bed because I love to sleep in. I wake up and I sleep in. I'm probably gonna get up to like 10, maybe 12. Sometimes, excuse me. But I got up at 6:45. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go. Then something like, get up bed. I jumped out the bed. And I got my stuff, got my suit on, and everything went down there. And, all this stuff happened. So, yeah, it's like I'm always trying to take a chance and stuff because I always say, like, the, this is speaking like wrestling, the hardcore people are going to always be there. I want to bring new people into the channel. I love making video. Almost like my philosophy next year and going into 2025 is I'm going to make videos that I like to watch and open up to new people, but I'm not going to forget about everybody who helped me come here. I'm not going to forget about, I'm not going to stop doing game hunting videos, GameStop, talking about PlayStation, Xbox. I'm still going to do all that, but I want to have more fun in 2025. And I'm just gonna just really like just go full bore into like things I absolutely love. More me, more personality, more what I absolutely love, and that's video games and wrestling. And trying to find a way to do both is going to be pretty challenging. I ain't gonna say it's gonna be challenging. I'm not even gonna say that because I know I can do it. It's gonna be really, really rewarding for the audience who stays around and stuff. Because that Tony Khan interview, I said, you know what? Let me. Everybody always talk about wrestling. Let's talk about this video game because I want to know about the AEW video game. Like, are you gonna do a new one? Is going to be more stuff going about it? And he talked about it and it went everywhere. It went viral for me. So like,
Yeah.
I was like, dang, this thing is like on different ways. So that's opened up new people. So I was like, okay, job accomplished.
Yeah, it was crazy. I watched, the all of the AEW stuff that you did, and then in my recommended feed, everybody was talking like, "Oh my God, Tony Khan's gonna, they're gonna do this or new content or this or
Yeah, I
that," and it's just
know.
like,
I
wow.
was like, what? I said, thank y'all. I thank you. What? Thank you guys. I was like, what's going on with this? This is crazy.
Yeah, that was wild. And I watch a lot of people through a broad scope of different content, wrestling, trading card games, video games, anything else that I'm into, hunting, fishing, stuff like that. And so my recommended just gets scattered like crazy. And I like when people that I enjoy watching
Hmm.
expand their their broad, like they they go outside of their comfort zone, or they start to cover things that they enjoy, because you can tell when people really enjoy talking about something or they're really
You can.
passionate about something. You can tell, like, maybe they've been keeping it away for a little bit because they were scared of, opening that door, or it might not do well, or this or that. But if
Hmm.
you took the chance and just like, you know what, I'm gonna slap these little interviews together and I'm just gonna throw them up.
Yeah.
And I mean, I loved it. I love listening to just a just a regular guy talk to wrestlers. Like, it wasn't like super media training where like it's the typical question. It's super polished. It was just you with a camera that was just like, "Hey, I'm going to ask you what I want to ask you. Answer how you want to answer."
Hmm. Yeah. That's really basically how I'm gonna do it. I don't. I will have like a few questions I want to hit, but my strength is talking with other people. And once I break that barrier, because if you notice, every interview I did, we was all having fun, laughing, and all that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
try to make people feel good. I try to figure out what does this person like, and then build off of that. So if anybody watching, you want to do something like that, find out what somebody likes, because that's important. The interview is never ever about you; it's about the person. And so I always learn that it's never ever about me. I like I step in the background and like just look like, oh, all right, what is so interesting about you? What do you like? Because I love we all know you like wrestling, but what else you like? And
Yeah.
just talk about stuff like that. I think it's a space for that. To do that.
Yeah, I like listening to, okay, obviously Bobby Lashley was a wrestler or is a wrestler still, and it's like listening to him talk about, how he's into certain video games, or he's starting his own YouTube channel, just doing what he wants to do. Like, that's the kind of stuff I really like listening to. Like, listening
Hmm.
to what they're doing outside of their profession.
Yep.
What they
Outside of.
do what they do behind the scenes when nobody's watching. Maybe they're not even like making a social media post about it. They're just in their free time when they're sitting down at the end of the night or whatever, and they're winding down. What are they going to do?
It's,
That's
it's,
that's what I like to hear.
it's amazing, right? And so it's pretty cool because like when you do that, you break past like the celebrity or the fame and all that, and you get to like this is just a regular dude. Just people just know him more of him.
Yeah, yeah,
Then
it
don't get me wrong, I was a little nervous. You probably could tell I was a little nervous, but once you get, it's always like stepping to that next level. Like I was said, never new level, new devil, which you're gonna have like trials and tribulations to like try and fail at different stuff. I'm happy the things I failed at. I'm like when I fail at something, I'm like okay, what can I learn from that? A lot of people don't are scared to fail. Excuse me.
yeah. I had a lot to do, like, with my job. I had to go out and just walk into places and just cold sell a product.
Hmm.
which I used to be very reserved. I would be pretty quiet, wasn't very big on just going out and talking to strangers. So once I had, like, I was forced to, hey, if you want to take this next step, you got to get out there and get over that. So I had no choice. It was like, well, it's time. So getting past that was a big hurdle. But once I got past it, it was like, oh, okay. Like, it's not that bad. It's not that scary. Like, yeah, you will have a lot of moments where you fail and you get your teeth kicked in, but it's all just getting past those little humps, and
Yeah,
the reward is fantastic.
those humps are like, man, they train you though. They really do train you and stuff, man. So, you know, but yeah, thank you for watching it, man. Like, um, I'm getting more out of how many people watch stuff and more into creating stuff. I absolutely love this. If you can't tell, I love doing YouTube. I'm like just, I'm always thinking like, what can I do in the next video? What things can we do? Got some good surprises coming up in 2025 that we're going to be doing. Just finding like expanding on my niche and stuff because I don't want to be known for having the most video games. I don't care about that. Like everybody got video games, but what can I offer the community? What can I, offer as enjoyment and stuff? Like, to me, you know, showing off what like the games I got is getting old. It's really getting old, and I don't think a lot of people want to do that, especially like the economy and stuff like that. People like going find a video game, like you watching it. I like that, but as me personally, I just don't want to like always show off what I want to do. Now, I got a couple collections that I want to show, but I just games really are not it. It's the adventure and just the life and all that kind of stuff. Life lessons and new experiences that can I offer and stuff like that. And I always got to check myself because I said to somebody one time, like as collectors, we always want to show off what we got.
Yeah,
We
it's
always
natural.
want
Yeah,
to. We all and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's but I think social media has amplified that. Like, all right, let me show this off and let me get this like and let me like, oh, I got more than him, and then it's just a lot of stuff.
it creates that fake persona of like, I have this game, I have no attachment to it, but everybody talks about it and I can afford it, so here it is,
Yeah.
and everybody's gonna like it, and then I'm gonna just go sell it off as soon as I'm done making this media post. Like,
Yeah, see that, I'm glad you said that, and that's the stigma with a lot of YouTubers in our space, right? And that's one thing I absolutely think is weird. Like, I don't understand why somebody would get upset if somebody else from making a certain type of content, or say I bought all these games just to make content for them. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to make content. You're trying to figure it out on YouTube. But a lot of people who watch don't get that. If you get That's another thing you got to get past that. You it's a slippery slope sometimes, right?
yeah.
Because like people always care about, oh, you buying and selling. Okay, what are you gonna sell to me? Most time, no. Most time, 100% is no. And if you did sell to me, I can do whatever I want with it. It's my stuff.
Yeah.
It's my games. It's my system. Whatever I want to do with it is mine. Now, if you're doing it, now some people do. I can't even say that. I can't tell what little man's doing, but you can sometimes tell. People are doing stuff they would that's kind of fake. You can see that, but a lot of people who just want to collect and they want to sell something, it's okay. I never understood like if you bought something, it's no rule book say you can't sell it. It's like this fake rule on only exists on the social media. If I step outside and talk to my neighbor, he's like, "Oh, did you sell the game that you got?" Like, what? What kind of nonsense is that? It's nonsense. It's crazy out there sometimes. I don't get it. I wish a lot of collectors would get out of that because it holds a lot of people up. That mindset will cause a lot of people to go in debt because they have all this great collection, right? But then they'd be afraid to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want no backlash from people because you know it's just silly. It's so silly.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in everything as a collector. I mean, I think we're all guilty of it. Is you try and collect a little bit of everything, whether you have attachment to it, whether you have no attachment to it, and you're just
Hmm.
picking it up because it's popular. I've been going through my collection actually, and just kind of playing a little bit of each game, and
Hmm.
if it captures me, it goes on the shelf. If it doesn't, and I'm like, I'm just playing this to play it,
Yep.
I'm getting rid of it.
It's always good to cycle stuff out. I'm known for cycling stuff out, so that's nothing. I don't really care. I really don't care. It's like I in the last year I kind of like pulled myself a lot away from like these toxic Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like the last 2 years they were just unbearable. Like I I don't some I stay in just so I can like maybe get a deal and buy something or just check on what the latest trends was going on with people talking about. But I really just kind of stay away from those. That's another thing. I really dislike Facebook groups now.
Yeah, it's finding the right community is hard to do. Like I see a lot of people in a group that I'm in, you know, most of the time they're all nice, they're all friendly, they're all welcoming and everything, and it's great. And then you see one, two, three people just ripping on somebody, and it's like, come on,
So,
guys, like really,
so silly, right?
like everybody complaining about Astrobot winning the game of the year. It's
I don't
crazy to me
I
that
don't
people
get it.
just go that hard on social media to bash on a fantastic game that had so much care and
Mhm.
time and just endless amounts of Easter eggs put into it.
Mhm.
Like if you're a PlayStation fan, that game is fanfare for you to the max.
See, people didn't play, and also people have known this. I've been preaching about Astrobot since the PlayStation VR One. Once I played down the VR, it's the music, the way the control used,
Oh
the
my god,
game is
it's
great,
fantastic.
and then Astro's Playroom is really good. Man,
Oh my god,
Astrobot
that's
is so freaking the Astrobot like the three games are top tier games, top
top
tier, especially the VR game.
absolutely.
It's a great VR game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I played it when I had my PSVR and I was like, "Oh, okay. Like this is different, but I like this." And then when I got my PS5, I played Astro's Playroom, and when I was done with it, I was like, "Oh, I don't want it to be over. I want more." And then I saw Astrobot and I told my wife I was like, "I have to get this game. Like I
Yeah,
have to get this game." And I bought it and I just sat down with it one night and I was like,
just
this
played it, played it, played it,
it's
played it.
it's incredible. Like it's the like
Really?
you don't get that kind of attention to detail in games much anymore.
Nope.
It's unreal.
If it was on Xbox, people wouldn't have it will if the game was probably like multi-platform, people wouldn't really have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But that's a game of the year thing. It does mean something. It does mean something because we're gonna talk about it on the podcast. It does mean something, but the outrage I've seen is like, really? I'm saying like, how old are you? I mean, I know you're trying to be entertained and engage farming and all that kind of stuff. I just don't. I don't get it.
That was a topic we did a video a segment on our podcast about that is people that just try and take the trolling to the next level. Like they try and make the nastiest comment or the wittiest comment or they join in because they want to be, they want to belong to something. So they just
Mhm.
it's just this like one upping everybody in the comment section. And it's just like
It's dumb.
come on, man. You gotta just accept it. It's not that bad. You'll survive. Did you enjoy the game that that didn't win that you wanted to win? That's all that matters. That's it.
That's all it is. That's all that matters, man. It's fun, and I knew Astro Bob was going to win because I mean, that's a family game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a game the kids like. When you get a game that kids like, I mean, come on. All the other games were great, but still, Astrobot, man, it just if you just listen to the music and just sit there and let the music, you like,
Oh my god. And you notice the
what?
lyrics and what they're singing, you're like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, it's dude, it's amazing.
It's
It's so
incredible.
good. It's so good.
So what console did you grow up on? I see like in your content, I see you're definitely a big Neo Geo guy, which is I have zero experience with the Neo Geo.
Hmm.
But I've also seen that you're not really super big on like the cartridge based stuff.
Not no more. All the cartridge based stuff I'm on right now is Neo Geo. All right, so I'm a Super Nintendo PlayStation guy. They're my two favorite. Neo Geo is third. So my top three systems, and these all switch out is PlayStation 2, Super Nintendo, Neo Geo. And I grew up Super Nintendo. We grew up Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and then when the PlayStation, oh my goodness, when the PlayStation One were released, dude, I told stories about this. I went to Blockbuster Video to get that PlayStation One in the case and the three games. Me and my cousin. Every time I think about this, like, dude, man, I talked to him like last week. I said, dude, man, when, when we went to the PlayStation and Blockbuster cable, we just sit there playing it. I was like, oh my gosh. And then the Neo Geo, I didn't really get to experience it much, only from the MVS Big Red Cabinets when we go like to Washateers or Pizza Hut or like a store. And I was just like, man, these games are great because they had these big old sprites and stuff. But until I really started collecting heavily, like in 2017, I started to figure out my Neo Geo. And I bought my first Neo Geo game in 2017, 2018, probably 27, in 20, middle of 2017. And I bought it off a Craigslist ad, and I was in Florida. And I was like, oh my goodness, you know. And the dude brought them over all these big old games, and I didn't know nothing about Neo Geo. I just knew they was big and expensive. Because I like expensive stuff. I'm a Leo. I love expensive stuff. I like the nicest stuff. I always mess with my friend talking about he rich. No, I love expensive stuff. I do. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. But but I like quality stuff too, though. So we got I got the Neo Geo, collected for a little while. Then you know what? I said, you know what? Let me just sell it off. And I remember when I started to sell that off in my Sega Saturn collection. People flip their mind, and these aren't people who flip their mind. These are like people on like Facebook groups. Again, go figure, right? Sold it off, you know. Then I bought it again, like a couple years later, like this year. I started recollecting Neo Geo. Then I sold it off, and I'm like, man, do I really want to collect this? And I was trying to sell it all off itself like 7, 8 games, and these are like the more expensive games. I can't do that. I gotta go back for it again. So I went full back into it again, and you see it here in the background. I don't plan on selling it. God forbid it nothing happens, you know, life and stuff. But I really enjoy it. I enjoy the console and stuff. I just end up getting. I just picked this up. Oh, I just picked up the MetaQuest yesterday.
Oh, nice. I had the MetaQuest 2. I think it was the
This is the
2.
3, and it's on. Why is it on? Okay, I gotta turn this thing off. This thing is on. But no, it's really good though. I like VR. I really like VR, but yeah, I grew up with that, man, and it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I VR is a tricky one for me.
Mhm.
I got the Quest 2 because I wanted to play Resident Evil 4 VR. And
Okay.
I played it and I was like, "Man, this is awesome." But then just like
You survived? Ooh, I
it
can't do that, man. You
like
braver than me. I can't do that. Mm-mm.
just being I don't know, something about just having the headset on for an extended period of time, like it doesn't make me sick. It's just it's more of a hindrance of my experience. Just it's just not what I'm
Really?
used to when I'm playing a game. You know, that's not how I grew up. I grew up with a controller in my hand, you know.
So you're more traditional type of stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't even like playing on like big TVs. Like I
Really? You
had
like staying on the
I like
CRT?
small monitors or like a CRT, just like 27-inch. That's
Okay.
where I like to be. I don't know why, but
Mhm.
it just feels better to me.
No, that's cool. That's cool. You have a Sony 27 inch.
No, I have I think it's a Panasonic. I don't even know
Okay.
what it is. My boss gave it to me, and it works. So I throw it all. I have it all going into a VCR that goes
Okay.
into like one of those switchers.
Hmm.
So all like the AV stuff just runs directly in there, and then I can just switch it because my daughter will come down and she'll be like, "Oh, I want to play Mario." I'm like, "All right, which one?" And she always tells me, "Oh, I want the one where he saves Princess Peach." And I was like,
That's
"Well,
all of them.
that's all of
Which
them.
one?
So you're gonna have to get a little deeper." And then she'll say just a random number like two, and I know like she's not gonna play it long, so I'll put it
No.
in, and she'll play it for a little bit, and then she'll say another one, and I'll go and I'll put it on, and I'll switch it, so it makes it easier for me to do that because she's big on the Wonder. She likes Mario Wonder. That's one she can actually sit down and play and actually get somewhere with.
Hmm.
So I like to make things like convenient for me and convenient for my daughter to play as well, which is something I never thought I would have to do as a like game collector is like, oh, I have to make it convenient for my child.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny.
So
Did she did she like the new Princess Peach game?
we haven't gotten that yet.
Okay.
A certain guy in a red suit might bring that for her.
You mean you?
Santa Claus.
Oh, okay. Santa Claus. Okay.
Do you like more modern, or do you like strictly retro, or do you like maybe like a little mix of both?
Mix of both. I'm really like I go against the grain on everything. Like I really hate when I don't like doing what everybody's doing.
Yeah, I like a little mix of everything. It's hard to play modern stuff now because it's such a time sink.
Hmm.
That's the thing I don't like about the modern stuff, and like the retro you're looking at, you know, on average 5-10 hours. For the longer stuff you got maybe 20, but that's like I like having those smaller time sinks because then I can play them multiple times.
No, I get it on that one, man. It's like my thing is when you say to go back to like the mix of both, right? Is like this is what I'm kind of doing now. Like I get like most of my retro systems modded. Like I have my PlayStation mod. I can put games on my Saturn and stuff, and just only collecting games that I want to play. Like only thing I'm really going after, I ain't say no full set, but like collecting wise, is like PlayStation stuff and Neo Geo stuff. Like you can go back to cartridge based stuff you was talking about earlier, like Nintendo, Super Nintendo. I'll buy that, but I'll hold it for trade. Like if I can get it like a Nintendo, if I find something like Goodwill or like GameStop underpriced, I'll hold on to that so I can like get other games and stuff like that to build up a collection and stuff. Don't
Yeah.
build like buy Neo Geo stuff, trade it for like maybe I get like 8 Nintendos and trade it for one Neo Geo game.
Yeah. Didn't you did just do, I think it was one of the more recent things I saw that you did. You were attempting to vend at a swap meet or whatever,
Hmm.
and you traded some of that cartridge stuff for, I think it was a PS1 game, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah. I did. Yeah, like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But I don't have that game no more because I traded it for some Neo Geo stuff.
Always trading it. Always
Yeah,
trading it.
I love trading too. I do. I love trading.
That is something that I have noted. Like you you are big into trading versus just like straight reselling it.
Yeah, it's too much hassle selling stuff. You gotta sell it, then you gotta ship it. Then you gotta worry if somebody gonna try to return it. And I would sell stuff. I'm like, right, like okay, I sell to this vendor and they go get the money, go get something else, or trade something like I was doing in that video. But setting up stores and all that kind of, I don't.
Yeah, it's a lot. I if I had a like a bigger scene around where I am to like trade with people, I would probably go that route too, but we don't really like, at least to my knowledge, like I don't have much of like a scene up where I am,
Hmm.
which is unfortunate because it would be nice to have people local that share that same passion that I have, but you know, you take the victories when you can get them, I guess.
Yeah.
So back to when I said like you just kind of have your hands in like a little bit of everything.
Hmm.
The photography that you're into, like I saw, I think it was one of your videos where you posted or you showed two pictures that you took. One of them was, I think, The Rock, and the other one was Daniel Bryant.
Hmm.
And those pictures were incredible, by the way.
Thank you. I'm a photographer. I'm a photographer by trade. Well, I ain't say by trade. That's my gift. I'm a photographer. I mean,
So that's like that is your main gig, or was your
no,
main
no.
gig, or
I think it's my skill I can do. I've always been a good photographer. From like from that's my gift God gave me. I'm a really good photographer. I just pick up a camera. Oh, boom. Okay, I can see light, see put something up. And just do it. Like a lot of good stuff. I just love photography. I always love photography. That's what it is. My gift. I always my first camera. You gonna laugh at this? It's funny. Remember when the back in the day where you can get like toys and the cereal and stuff like that back in the day.
yeah,
so so back in the day, Cheerios was having these like things. You can win like I remember when that Cheerios they was giving away money, like actual like cash in a cereal box. You can win like a $20 bill, a $5 bill, a $1 bill. Just think about that now. And I actually won like a $20 bill out of one of them. But one Cheerios thing, you can like you buy so much stuff, UPC labels and stuff. You cut them off, and you can send it in and get a camera. Well, I did that. I sent it in, and like so many things, I didn't send it in, but my parents did. And because like you can get this Cheerios. I got this Cheerios camera back in that. I wonder if that thing is still like somewhere. I want to get that one of those. But yeah, Cheerios camera. So I gotta look that up. Yep, I remember that camera back in the day. Yeah, it was like a Cheerios, like a little wind up cameras and stuff like that.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hmm. Yep, it was so. It was like this. I also one. But yeah, back in the day, I had a Cheerios camera, man. It was like that was my first little camera. You put the little film in it and wind that jug goes in, and then you turn the camera, goes, and then get ready, and then the flash will go off.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was back in the '80s too. The Cheerios, I gotta find that. It was like a little wind up camera, man. I gotta find that thing. I want one of those things, just to put like, oh yeah, I remember this, because that's how all the cameras used to be back in the day. The like little film cameras and stuff.
Yep.
Everybody had.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh
had
yeah.
that one. I had like a Bozo one. I had so many little cameras and stuff, and I loved it.
So what made you like get a, like pick up an actual camera and just go? Because I mean, the pictures that you took, were you in the crowd taking those, or were you like,
Oh no,
ringside for those?
some was ringside, but also too, you part of media. You apply for the media badge, and they have this place where media sits on like it's set up, and I sit there and was taking the pictures and stuff, and it was like, okay, let's go, let's do this and stuff like that. It was good, and I can't remember the moment, man. It just been like I'm okay. This is how I am. I always see the opportunity and go for it. I'm not a shy person. If you see me, you hear my big mouth. I'm not shy. I'm not shy. Like I'm very, very outgoing. I'm very like this. I can be, I can be introverted too sometimes, but I'm more of an ambivert. Like I really just out there all the time. Just that's just me, just high energy and just go. And a lot of people are more high energy on camera, and when you see me in person at night, I'm like most of the time, I'm like, all right, let's go, let's do this. Unless I'm tired and like gonna do just go do something. But yeah, I cannot remember. I don't remember the time. I just know I just showed up with my camera and just starts taking stuff. Oh, I know in the military when I was in the Navy, I was always taking pictures too. Like, and I do remember this moment when I met The Rock at WrestleMania 19 at a fan festival. Um, that was my last time using film camera because I actually lost the film of me and The Rock together. I got on the bus, I just freaked out. I was like, "Oh no, I lost the roll of film with me and The Rock on." I could not. I,
Yeah, that one hurt a little bit.
that hurt bad. That hurt bad. And then the next week or next month, I went and got me a digital camera, a Canon, like a Canon Rebel,
Yeah,
and
that's what
it was
I
over
have.
then. Do you have one? Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have
those
a
cameras back
Rebel
in the day was really good.
T7, I think is what it's
A
called.
Ti, yeah, a Rebel Ti, yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I picked it up on Marketplace for super cheap because photography's always been something that I've had an interest in,
Hmm.
and I I'm a very sentimental kind of guy.
Okay.
So I'm one of those guys that likes to capture those special moments, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
or create a moment that's sentimental for somebody. So when my mom passed away, she gave a necklace that she had to my daughter for us to give to my daughter. So it's like a little angel, and it has a little saying on it that says, "I'm always with you."
Hmm.
So when I first got the camera, my idea was to have her holding her hands out and having the necklace sitting in her hands.
Oh, nice.
So like just something like that where it's a sentimental moment, and it's something that if you know it and you
You
see
know,
it, you know.
yeah.
Like, those kinds of things. And I did the same thing when we had our son. Is we took his newborn pictures and we did them right in the backyard, and we had him laying on a blanket, and
Hmm.
he has that angel necklace. And my dad, he always had a necklace on that I have now. Um, that's a Saint Christopher. So we put those two with him in his hand, and we took that. I took that picture. So like it's again just that sentimental moment is something that I really enjoy. But photography has always been something I had like an interest in, but never got to explore it to a like a deep degree. It was just kind of like messing with it.
That's good, man. That's dope. Like one thing about like you say making moments or capturing moments and stuff like that. Like you, that's something good. I remember when I did my little niece, and now she like you know doing flips and stuff. I just taking pictures of both of them. I still got pictures of my phone. I was one thing about it's especially around the holidays. I try to take as many pictures as I can because you just never know,
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you don't try to be morbid about it, but you're like, oh, just got to.
yeah. You hate to be that guy that always has his phone out taking a picture, but it really does, man. Like there are just certain moments that you're like, man, I wish I would have had that, or I wish I just could look back at that. Like to to be to be morbid, I guess. In the moment, one thing that I'm really glad that my brother's fiance did, or his wife now, is when my mom was sick and we were basically like at that point where we knew it was going to happen.
Hmm.
She reached out her hands to me, and I held her hands,
Hmm.
and she took a picture of that.
Oh, that's nice.
I had no idea.
Hmm.
And my wife told me, she's like, hey, by the way, she took a picture of that. Let me know when you're ready. Then we can, take a look. And like looking back on it now, I'm like, I'm glad that she took those pictures, because that's like, it's obviously not a moment that I want to remember,
Hmm.
but it is at the same time, if that makes sense.
No, I get it. It is. I get that. That's dope, man.
Yeah,
That's dope.
it's just something that, you know, it's something that you can always keep. And as hard as it may be to look at it, it's one of those things that maybe it's hard, but it helps. It's just, I don't know, sometimes, like, when you hear a song or whatever, or see a picture, it takes you back, but it also helps you through.
Yeah.
Going back to The Rock, you got like front row seats to a WWE event that I saw you post about.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
was
yeah.
what was that like?
It was good, man. Like I sent a tweet about the Rock, how like he had changed, like helped me out, like when I was in my lowest point and stuff. I was in the hospital and stuff, and somebody had sent me a Rock book with his autograph, but it wasn't his autograph. And he just like, I'm gonna change that, and and he sent me a whole bunch of stuff like this belt. Probably you probably see this belt like right top one over there, like this, like right there, the top one right
Yeah,
there. That's his belt, and then some clothes, Under Armour stuff. And then they was coming to Dallas. I said, "Hey, can you in a way we can get some tickets? I wanted to like meet the Rock or something." He said he probably won't have no time to meet, but we'll take care of you. And they gave me front row seats. I was like, "Oh, okay." He gave me four, so I was like, "It was good. It was a good time."
yeah. That's something I've been to one WWE event, and it was. I mean, that was a long time ago now, and I went with my brother, who I grew up watching WWE with him. So that
Hmm.
was a cool thing. I got it for him for Christmas one year,
Hmm.
and we got to go, and it was crazy. And we weren't, sitting anywhere fancy. I think we were like kind of off where the entrance ramp was, and that was an experience because you get to see the entrances live, and you get to hear all the ring noises and everything like right there in the moment, which was pretty crazy. But front row, I could not even imagine how great that would like be.
It was good. It was fun. It was an experience, especially like when the Rock came out, man. You couldn't like listen. You couldn't like hear. It was just like sustainable, like just superstar interest. Like okay, like it was like next level. Like
Yeah.
like whoa. It was like what they had to raise his music up even more because it was so loud.
That's insane.
It was insane.
And that
I was
was
like,
was that
that was the night he
during
got slapped.
was that
That's the night he
during the
got
Cody
slapped.
Rhodes stuff, or was that
Yeah,
right before? Was it?
the night he got slapped by Cody. And it was so funny about that, right? They were Rock loves to go so long, and they had to hurry up and get to the slap, or they was gonna get off TV. And it was going, and you can see the people, you can see the woman like, go, wrap it, up. Come on, wrap it up, go, and Rock was looking like, chill, I got this, she's like, and they had to get to and like, and then they was still go slap him, and like, and it was like, because that was SmackDown Raw. If you look at it, it's a TV show,
Hmm.
but it was crazy. It's like go, and then they went right off TV. Like 30 seconds later, I was okay, good, they got it. So it was.
Do you think that with cell phones and everybody recording everything, do you think that's kind of taken a little bit of like the mystique away from wrestling at all?
Not really.
For I think for like a person that is into it and knows about it,
Hmm.
they can ignore it. But I think for somebody that's kind of on that edge, that they're like, I like it, but I'm not super into it. It does ruin it for them because you get to see like certain moments leading up to the actual moment on TV. So it's like, they're off camera, but they're like, you could see them if you're at the event, but if you're
Hmm.
watching on TV, you can't. And that's like the point. But then you see like an Instagram post from somebody that gets recommended to you, and you're like, oh, and it shows you like them off camera leading to the point on camera, and you're just like, oh, that's kind of stupid.
I try to avoid stuff like that sometimes, but I understand what you're talking about. Not anymore. 'Cause I just look at it like for what it is. Like I enjoy it for what it is. I don't spend time arguing with people about stuff I like no more. I guess that's why it's like, all right, whatever. I just tune out. Like if you don't like it, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you about it. I love it. I'm very like yes and no.
Yeah.
I'm very yes and no. You know where you're gonna you know where you're gonna stand with me. It's yes or no. It's right down the middle.
So what are some of your favorite WWE matches, or even AEW matches for that matter?
My favorite match, right? Well, all time favorite match is WrestleMania 17. Rock. Oh, no, 18. I'm sorry, 18. Rock and Hogan with
Oh yeah, that was a
F
good
Hulk.
one.
Yeah, but F Hulk Hogan. But
Yeah,
that's one
that's
that
a
always comes to
classic.
my mind. I know that one comes to my mind. Um, what other good matches? The matches I went to, me and my brother went to Survivor Series a couple years ago in San Antonio. That was good. That was like NXT Survivor Series. We stayed in Houston or San Antonio. One, I think it was Houston. We stayed in Houston, and I think that was. But watched that. Uh, what I do remember the match at AEW with Hangman and Daniel Bryan. They did that hour long
Oh
match. That was
yeah,
great. The first one, I was here for that one. So a lot of things, but I really just like matches of all time, man. Um, anything I can say anything with the Rock. I just watched today on WWE on YouTube the ladder match with Mankind and the Rock before you go to WrestleMania. Who go to WrestleMania 15?
oh yeah, yeah.
That was a fun match. You know, or that part that Saturday Night Heat, not Saturday Night Heat, halftime Heat with the
Oh,
empty arena match with Mankind and The Rock, and at the end they had that stupid camera angle with a Rock like no no, and the thing was leaning down on him and stuff. It was like he was like it was just so dumb. It was like it was so
I
stupid.
love the the stuff that The Rock and Mick Foley did back to, like, they were on the mic together,
Hmm.
and Mick was feeding The Rock something, and then he cut him off with his own line, and then like did a lap around the ring. Then he had his fist up, like, I
Yeah.
got him.
Oh yeah. He
Oh
like
my god, that was gold.
he told Rock, like, Rock, what do you think? He said, doesn't matter what you think. The Rock just started laughing like, he said, I got him. Yes. It was funny.
I love the moments where like people are trying to break the other people.
Hmm.
The other Another moment that comes to mind is when Stone Cold, I think it was Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, and the Undertaker were talking to Vince, and Vince was talking, and Austin just kept repeating like
What?
every word that Vince said. So he'd be like, "Now tonight," Stone Cold would be like, "Tonight." He'd be like, "We're gonna go to the ring, the
Oh yeah, it
ring."
was back in the background. It was in the back, and it was like he started doing it. And he hit the Undertaker. He like, and then Undertaker said he was trying to get Undertaker to laugh. He said, "Gonna pull back and love." And like, it was just silly. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, like looking back on like the Attitude Era, man, like some of the stuff they did. Looking back on it, you're like a little wild.
Actually, another match I like. It was Kenny Omega, the first, part of the one he beat Okada at New Japan Pro Wrestling. He became the champion.
Yeah,
That
I
match was crazy. That match was nuts.
I
I think they're
watched.
gonna run that match back this year. They're gonna have to run that match back this year at All In. They're gonna have to because that's gonna be. Whew.
Is Kenny Omega even like cleared to go yet?
I think so.
Did he? Oh wait, he did announce that he was making a comeback at New Japan. Because I
Yeah.
saw everybody was like bashing him for not announcing coming back on AEW, which
Hmm.
let like let the man just do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
I mean, he's arguably one of the greatest of all time. You gotta just let him do what he's gotta do.
Yep.
One thing that draws me to AEW, like over the more polished WWE now, is just like it kind of gives you that little bit of like nostalgia feel. It's a little rough around the edges, and I feel like the relatability and the star power there is, I don't know, it's just a little more digestible for someone at my age at least, rather than like watching the WWE stuff that's more polished and scripted and stuff like that, and just more clean.
Yeah.
It just I feel myself just being drawn into AEW a little more, especially with the stars that they got over there. I mean, you say what you want to say about, oh, they're just picking up the old WWE guys and repolishing them and all. It's where the WWE guys go to retire.
I don't listen to people like that, man. I just don't. I stay away from that kind of conversation because people
I
just silly.
it I stay away from it and I don't let it bother me. But sometimes, man, like I'll see in the comment section somewhere, I just be like, really, you're really gonna complain about that? Like, come on, man. Like when Adam Copeland came over to AEW and he debuted and he came out to his music, like, how could you not love that? Like, just love it. Just let the guy do what he's got to do. We're gonna get an Edge and Christian before, like, before they're done. Like, I want that. Don't you? Like, you got to see that before they actually hang it up.
Yep. One day, one day this might happen.
I think so.
I wish he didn't get hurt, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean
he
that.
did that stupid move off the top of the cage. I was like, oh man,
Yeah, that was unfortunate. But
it was.
so it's funny looking at a bunch of people now going into like stuff with GameStop.
Hmm.
But like I saw you, like you were the one that was really like screaming from the rooftops first about GameStop. Like
That's crazy. My roof.
you were number one out there with the megaphone, like, hey, GameStop's cool. Come on, come join us. You don't want to miss out.
Yeah,
And I watched you do it, and I was like, man, like GameStop's doing it. Okay,
yeah.
like they're coming back, and boy, have they ever just done and made the right decisions. They are on a heater right now.
You know what it was, man? Like, it goes back to being like positive or negative, right? There's so many channels that will say, bash. I've done it before myself too. I ain't gonna say I completely, but we'll get into the rhythm of like, oh, if I bash GameStop, everybody talking about it, then I get more views and more money and stuff. And me, I really don't want to do that. I want people to watch the videos, but I want them to go away and like, hey, go check this out. I call it GameStop PTSD because a lot. It is it's like GameStop PTSD is like the managers. They have some sucky district managers or sucky managers, people who you know it would just it's it's they don't they don't know how to treat people, and then that trickles down.
Yeah, I like we all watched GameStop just kind of run itself into the ground and not make the best decisions and just really get away from what made them good in the first place.
Hmm.
And I was in a GameStop a while ago, and the guy at the counter was telling me, "Oh, we're getting into graded cards. Like that's their next move is we're gonna get into graded cards." And I was like, "Man, you guys really missed the boat on that one. I don't think that's gonna be the move." And I talked to the guy for probably a good 20-25 minutes, and then we left, and I saw that they started getting back into the retro stuff, and I was like, okay, how they handle that is going to determine their future because like GameStop needs to put games first.
Yeah.
So seeing them like start to have this inventory of 360, PS3, and then some cartridge, some systems come rolling in, it's like, okay, all right, like we see. And now that handheld they just did with I forget what the company that they did it with. It's like that Game Boy handheld. They did that. They're starting to partner with YouTube content creators in the space.
Yeah.
That is the best thing that they could have done, period.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, it doesn't take like it doesn't take a genius to look at the landscape of the niche that you're in and be like, how how do we how do we get back into it? It's right there. It's right. It's been right there the whole time.
Yeah, man. I like GameStop. I always like GameStop. I'm just like going back looking at stuff like it's so like people will get the little mean face and GameStop did this is so bad. And I'm like, but you're making a video because it's so bad, and then you make another video, then you make another video, then you make another. I mean, you can do what you want. I'm just saying. I really do enjoy it.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed GameStop, and they had their period of time where it was in a big lull, and it was like, okay, like I have no reason to go in here. But now I kind of have a reason to go back to them because
Yep.
I want to check what retro stuff they have. And I mean, their prices are spot on. They're not overly priced and they're not super low priced. They're like in that nice little sweet spot where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to pick that up. And to see Game Boy Color cartridges and the systems and like 360s and PS2s start flowing in, the stuff around me. Yeah, I'm going to be popping in a little more. They're they're making the moves to really win everybody back, I think.
They are. It will take time because I said like the people, man. Oh my gosh, like some people they're just not good for business. They'll run people off, or they'll lie, or they'll try to steal get not steal games, but hold games for themselves and stuff like that need to be called out. But just saying GameStop is lame, you're gonna do that. I'm doing a video like that so many times. It's so crazy.
Yeah, as a new like person in the space and making YouTube content and stuff, like we had a conversation before about just making stuff that you want to make or stuff that is like you're interested in. Like, you know, I like to do a plethora of things, whether it's playing games, whether it's talking about games, talking about stuff that doesn't even relate to games, like just being a parent or being a human
Yep.
or music, movies, like stuff like that. Like, and the some things that I've talked about are in that space of like the controversy. We've made a video talking about GameStop, or we made a video talking about a streamer that was the uh, in the news, and it's interesting to see what gets pushed and what doesn't get pushed. You know what I mean? Like
Is it to like what the people or just like on YouTube or
on
something?
just on YouTube and like in general. Like it's as somebody that I have no idea what I'm doing. I just record, I go in and I edit to the best of my ability and
Yeah.
I throw it up on YouTube. Like that's the extent of what I do. Like that's the extent of what I know how to do.
Yeah.
And you see these people that it's all about this, or if you type in these keywords, or if you word it this way, and like there's so much that goes into like the whole thing as a whole. But for somebody like us, where it's like, I'm just gonna do this and I just want to see what happens,
Yep.
and that comes up, and it's like, we've had a video that got like 10,000 views, and it's
Yeah.
like,
I hear about the
whoa.
Mr. Crazy Man, but yeah.
It's just crazy to me, like just something that catches immediately, and then something that you actually put a lot of effort into and you care about just kind of does like a little slow trickle. It's interesting.
What I suggest is like I'm looking at your stuff right now, and okay, so you're doing good thumbnails. I mean, they can be improved, right? Like more high quality, you know, high quality pictures, and also branding yourself. Unless you're not branding yourself as your channel, like you can do that. What else? Bet I mean, I would say like titles and thumbnails and stuff.
Yeah,
You got long videos because YouTube like long videos, but um, I don't know if everything is live. I was, don't do too many live videos. Like live videos don't really do it well. Like, but you can do a live channel. But I see the stuff you're doing. Just make sure you gotta just promote it more and stuff like that.
yeah,
Use your community page. Use all your social media stuff. Promote that. Reach out to other people who you want to bring on and stuff, and just do that. But also too, remember when you bring people on, and I learned this, people will watch your content, but they will watch it because that person's in it. Then you gotta try to have something for them to stay.
yeah, yeah. Like
And,
we're trying to figure out that nice little balance of
and
what
I'm looking at it
what
like I'm looking
what
at
we
it because like
want to be in and what we want to continue doing. Because like I had a vision for what I wanted, and then we kind of like it was a lot of work for me to do, like the way that I wanted to do it. And
hmm
I was kind of like running myself ragged for a little bit, and I was like, all right, let's pivot here. So we pivoted, and then we were doing that for a little bit, and then it was like, all right, let's go back to the original idea, but kind of make it a little shorter. So like when we do everything live, so we'll go live once a week,
hmm
uh, and we'll be playing a game on the live, and we'll talk about it. So everything you get to see is live. And then what I'll do is I'll go into DaVinci and I'll just edit it down to like a more digestible video, and then I'll upload that for the following week. So it gives somebody a chance to come in and see it live, and if you want to chat or talk, you can do that, and if you want to just wait for the edited video, you can do that too. So I'm trying to find my little section over here in YouTube land.
you're doing it. And here's another thing you can do too: brighten up your room. You're too dark. Like on your videos, it's too dark. Even this right here video is too dark.
Oh, I don't
Uh,
even have the light that I usually have on.
yeah, you make sure you get some good quality light and like like as long as your audio is good, people listen to good audio.
Yeah,
People won't and people listen to good audio, but they won't listen to bad audio. So
yeah,
you and like see how my like if I had like this, they may watch, but you know, even if I just turn the light out, but turn the lights on and get good light and just good light for you. Like
yeah.
like this right here is too this is
We've
too
also
dim.
we've been also experimenting with like the area of the game room. Like we just rearranged it and have it in a different section now. So we're trying to play around with that now and get it to where
I see it.
it's
It's good, man.
it's where
You're
we
on the
want
right
it to
track.
be.
Hey, you're putting videos out there. It's gonna take a little while, but you're doing it.
That's I'm just doing it because I like doing it.
Good. Do it because you like it. Because it's really never promised, man. Like,
Yeah, I want to build a little niche over here, a little community that can come comment on my videos and talk to me about stuff that I'm doing, and I can respond back to them, and we can all just get along and enjoy stuff together. That's all I want, man. That's what it's about.
yeah, do that, man. Do it, man. You're doing good. Just make sure you put more of yourself in the video and in the thumbnails. I would say I will start doing that. I will at least like go back in the last 10 videos and start putting yourself into it. Especially
Really?
like this one here saying like collecting and marriage. I will put especially put her in there because gamers like to see women.
maybe
Women
that's
do.
why. Maybe that's what I should do. I should just kick off my co-host and just bring the wife in.
Hey, it might work. You never know. But just putting something interesting like because some of these are interesting, some of them are not. But you gotta make sure you gotta put yourself. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
It's like here. It's like is it game? Is it movies? Pokemon? What internet? What is And you're finding your niche. So keep doing it and see what works and see what don't work. You can always go like I went to the popular tab and see what good. Like one of your videos, like the NES is good or not. Controversial stuff like that. That's a good topic. And to see Nintendo is clear, Mario is clear. I can see what's clearly about. You know,
Yeah, that NES one got me some heat.
That's okay. Who cares? Don't worry about other people's opinion. Like as long as it's your opinion, you ain't hurt nobody. People, gamers are really sensitive sometimes,
Oh
especially if
man,
you're not talking about their favorite console, and it's not Xbox or it's not PlayStation. Like, shut up. Or a PC player, hey, look at me. Y'all talk about me. Hey, hey.
yeah, you hit it right there. That was yeah. They do get offended pretty easily.
That's all right. Let them get offended and make people watch. You make them interact and stuff. Let them be in their feelings. It'll be all right.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you.
I
Welcome,
think I speak for everybody in the country for that one. Uh,
I appreciate that.
it's been a good conversation. I enjoyed it, and I would love to have you on again for sure.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do some stuff. We'll get together. Like I say, I'm always. You need some help? Let me know.
I appreciate that, man.